and those curious about art. I'm artist Susan Jenkins, and welcome here in my little studio today that I call Monet Cafe, just a little place for you to learn and grow as an artist or a budding new artist. And today I have a few little tips. I like to call them magic tricks in art. I was very fascinated with the art of illusion when I was young. Not dark magic by any means, but just magic that's usually called illusion. And I actually took magic lessons and would perform at little birthday parties and things when I was young. And I just loved it. I loved to do things that would amaze and trick the eyes. And, you know, I think that's why I like being an artist so much, because it really is like a magic trick. It's an illusion of how to take a three-dimensional world and make it believable to appear that way on a two-dimensional surface, whether that be paper or canvas or whatever medium you're using as a two-dimensional surface. So these are some just neat little easy tips that I can show you today that will help your art look more believable with perspective and that illusion of depth on a two-dimensional surface. So let's call this the magic tricks of art. Sorry, I'm a lefty. I write like this, but I actually usually draw and paint like this, so it's really weird. The first one is really easy. It is size. And I think most everybody understands that size indeed does make a difference in how an object is perceived, whether it is close or far away. Got a dirty easel here and I'm getting dirt everywhere. So, simple example, big circle, little circle. It really helps if you have like a horizon line back here somewhere to give that sense of depth. So that is one very quick way that you can have your art appear further away, or your painting or drawing. The next one would be value. This is one of my particular favorites because value is so crucial to good art and believable art. And I actually have, I think, another lesson on value on my channel. Value is really just a word that means the lightness or the darkness of an object. Now in this example, I'm going to do two circles of somewhat equal size. And darker values are always, they always appear that they're closer than things far away. And the reason for this is because of the atmosphere, just a natural phenomenon that happens when things are far away. There's more atmosphere between you and that object, and so they appear further away when they don't have as much value. See, darker value, lighter value. Now I made them the same size on purpose, but this would be even more enhanced if I had an object further away and a very light value. So that is, oops, that's a bad horizon line. That is a way that we can create things that look further away in the distance, okay? So size is one, value is another, and then you can do even size and distance to create even more of an illusion. Okay, the next one I'm going to talk about is, I'm going to save color for the last. Color is also kind of not really in the same category of value, but we think values can be colors too. They don't just have to be black and white, darks and lights. Color can have value, but just hue and chroma can also give an illusion of things being far or close. So the next one I'm going to do is edge. For example, a circle here, again, I'll do them the same just to give the apples to apples comparison here. We have a dark edge or line here. And in this circle, if I do one similar to the same size and give it a light edge or thinner edge, it doesn't appear as close. So that darkness and edge and size, all of these things are going to affect the perspective of your art or drawing. The next one is detail. Okay, so it's pretty self-explanatory. Things either have a lot of detail or not much detail. Again, two circles. Okay, this one, let's say it's an orange, okay? And you know, orange have all their little pits, not pits, but little indentions in them. Okay, so we've got a little bit of detail going on in this orange, okay? And then let's say that this one, now like I said again, you would typically, if it's farther away, it's going to be further back, it's going to be smaller, it's going to be lighter in value, but just simply having detail versus no detail does make things appear closer than far away. Now, let's put all of these together, and again, I'm saving color for last. I'm going to do color later. Okay, so let's do an example of all of them. Okay, so let's take our first circle here. We're going to make it larger because it's in the foreground. I'm going to give it a darker edge. I'm going to give it a darker value. Okay, so it's going to be larger than the other one. It's going to have more value, and it's going to have a stronger edge. I mean, you could even do things like adding a drop shadow is definitely going to make it appear more three-dimensional. But in this lesson, we're just talking about perspective, really. I just get carried away, you know. Okay, so we've got one that's closer, darker in value, and a stronger edge, and more detail. Let's give it some detail. I mean, perhaps it's a golf ball. Golf balls have those little indentions in them. Okay, and so now we're going to take and make one further away. Make it way back here. It's lighter. It has less of it doesn't have as much of a strong edge. It doesn't have as much detail, and it has a lighter value. I'll even give it some value here, just so it's not totally empty or white inside, okay? So now we see how those four things can create that sense of depth or illusion in art. And it's just really quite fascinating. Like I said, I love the ability to be able to trick the eye like that and have that illusion of depth in a painting. So those are just some neat ways to do it. Now, let's talk about color. Okay, now we will talk about color. Oh, fascinating. I love black and white work, but I am just a color freak. I love color, and I think the Lord must have given me that gift because I actually seem, from some tests I've taken, seem to have more color receptors in my eyes, and I think that's why I'm just so drawn to the colors in nature, and it's just fascinating. Okay, with color, I'm just going to use some pastel pencils that I have here just to get some color down. This is not pastel paper, but typically the way color works to enhance that illusion of depth in artwork is cooler colors tend to recede. Okay, so more like your purples and your blues, they're cooler colors on the color scale. And warmer colors, now we already know darker values tend to come forward. Warmer colors tend to come forward. Now that doesn't mean to say you can't have some warmer colors in a background, but they're not going to be as strong in hue or chroma. They're going to be weaker, maybe more grayed out, okay? So that is just a basic way that color gives that illusion of distance. Again, I'm doing the circles the same size just for, again, apples to apples comparison. But these blue colors tend to appear more far away, and cooler colors, and warmer colors tend more towards moving forward. They give that illusion that they are closer. And I think that too has just to do with the same idea with distance, is that things further away have more atmosphere in the way. And have you ever noticed how mountains appear blue when they're far away, or almost purplish blue? And that's because there's a lot of atmosphere in between you and what you're viewing. So that's why things blue out in the distance. Typically, like I said, you can have some color in the distance, but it's not going to be strong color. Okay, now I'm going to add some color to this one that I had here. We're going to add color to this one. Purple's my favorite color. I think it's supposed to be one of the most rare colors in nature. Okay, so what I'm going to do, is in this background. We'll just kind of give an illusion of like the sky in the distance. And then we'll make this circle in the distance. This is even kind of a dark purple. You can get paler purples, but we'll give it a more of a purple color. Okay, and we'll give these this big old golf ball, now it's turned into an orange again. We'll give it some orangey color in the front here. So now we've got all of these elements, or these tricks, as I call them, art tricks, working in your favor as an artist to make things appear closer or further away. Now, of course, we also have the one that's most people are familiar with, which is just plain perspective, like 1-point perspective, 2 or 3-point perspective. And that's just what you learn, you know, in school when you learn about, like, just say taking a road, going through my art here, and things get smaller further away and closer as you get, larger as you get closer here, like a road, for example, and they tend to meet on the horizon line. So that's just perspective. But these are the ones that I really use a lot in my paintings, and all artists use these. And it's just an easy way for you to remember how simple it can be to create that illusion of depth. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little mini lesson here. I've got another lesson on value that is going to be coming right around the corner here soon. So please try these. Try these little tricks and illusions. And I am excited. I would love for you guys to share more comments with me and just let me know how you're doing with some of these. If you're learning, if you're growing as an artist, that would be awesome. Or if there's something else you would like to see that I can share with you. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thanks for joining me today in Monet Cafe. I am going to go get a cup of coffee right now. Bye.